Hi there, just wanted to do a video today about the whole should we leave, should we stay EU referendum thing. Personally, I think it's an absolute load of bullshit and a distraction ploy. And also another example of divide and conquer. Can we get the leave and the stay people against each other in the same way as we do the really important stuff like let's get the black and white people against each other, let's get the Christians and the Muslims against each other. Let's basically get everybody against each other. No different from what we see, frankly, in football matches where we get one side fighting with the other. So as far as I'm concerned, it's an absolute load of bullshit, and it makes absolutely no difference whether we leave or whether we stay. Firstly, because the agenda is already set and the scales are always tipped in the favour of the establishment and the powers that be, and that's just the way it is. It is a situation of heads they win and tails they win. So as most of you who keep sort of keep in touch with the news, for want of a better word, BBC, for instance, the propaganda merchants, who I think it was last week where the Chancellor or something released a statement to say that basically if we leave the EU, then the economy's fucked. Now, take that as a threat, because what they're basically saying is don't vote leave, because if you do, you're going to be destitute and hungry, because basically no one's going to be able to survive. That is blatant propaganda and obvious threat, but I don't think that it means that, oh my God, yeah, that means we need to vote leave because, it's really important that happens. Because, let's not forget the fact that they are and will be passing TTIP, whether we leave or whether we stay. And actually that's far more dangerous because that's going to affect people on the ground in their daily life. They're going to be selling us genetically modified food unlabelled. I would actually be far more concerned about that. I'd be far more concerned about the fact that we are being poisoned through the food that we eat, and the water that we drink, and potentially through the air that we breathe. Although I choose not to buy into that too heavily, that kind of negativity, because I am absolutely certain that we can protect ourselves from the heavy metals and radiation by eating a really healthy plant-based diet. And I've talked about this loads of times before. If you want to stay healthy at the optimum level of health that you personally can, then eat a clean diet, which means no processed food. Eat whole foods as they are basically pre-existing in nature. So fruit and vegetables without doing anything to them. If you're going to make sauces and stuff like that, make sure that you make things from scratch. You don't add shop bought stuff. Don't eat salt that isn't natural sea salt. Don't have any oils that aren't cold pressed. Just stick to basically keeping yourself as healthy as possible and protecting yourself from these environmental toxins. Should we leave? Should we stay? Really don't worry about it. The other reason that I think that this is just total pantomime is because it's a situation that we have seen a million times before, where when they want to do something really, really dodgy, which is far worse, they will create a situation where they get everybody talking about it and everybody concerned and everybody, worrying about it and blah, blah, blah. That's what they do when they want to do something really dodgy. So don't worry about the EU referendum. Have a think about what else they might be doing, because you can pretty much, bet your backside that they're going to be doing something else, because that's why they've created this situation in the first place. And then there's the fact, of course, that the powers that be have a agenda, and nothing is going to stop them. They do not care what we think. They do not care how we are. They don't care whether we're happy. They don't care whether we're living a good life, which is why we need to take the control back, and we need to care about whether we're happy, and we need to care about how we're having a good life. And the way that we can do that is by disassociating from the system as much as possible. Do not do business with these people. I do not consent. Just do not do business with them. I mean, obviously those people who are taxed at source can't do much about that, because, the tax racket is alive and well, and they are taking it out of your paycheck before you even see your money. But, you know, if there's ways out of it, look to not pay tax. Look to not pay your water bill. There's nothing they can do if you don't pay your water bill, because it is against our human rights for them to turn our water off. And let's face it, who said it was okay for these people to basically, what they have done is they've taken a natural resource which belongs to all beings on this planet. They've put it through some rusty, poisonous pipes full of shit. They have allowed it to be contaminated with all sorts of like heavy metals, pharmaceutical drugs, estrogens and everything else nasty in it, and then they sell us that stuff. I mean, really? Why are we buying it? We shouldn't be buying it. I've done a video before about water filtration and how we can actually filter our water to get it safe, because UK drinking water is not fit for human consumption and is full of hundreds of contaminants. So I will put a link to that video underneath this video, and I will also put a link to the water filter that I recommend to give you the best safe drinking water. Okay, another reason that I can think of as to why this EU referendum doesn't matter and it's a pile of bullshit is the fact that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that this stuff is just absolute bullshit that makes no difference whatsoever to our lives. What we need to do is understand that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and that allows us to step into our power, understand that you cannot die, you are eternal, you are an eternal love force, nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you. If you can step into that power and into that knowledge, then you do not need to concern yourself with that stuff. And you know what I've been really surprised about, and I did actually put up a post on Facebook about it yesterday, was the same people who were saying don't vote, voting's a waste of time, it doesn't mean anything, it's a done deal, the agenda's already set, basically all the things that I've already said in this video. The same people that were saying that when the general election was going on are now saying you have to vote. You have to vote leave. I mean, it's absolutely loads of hysteria all over social media from some people who, you know, I kind of thought realised that this was all a pants and wine and a load of bullshit. But anyway, I don't know why that is, and I'd be really interested to find out. I'm sure that I'm going to get some conflicting comments on this video, and that's fine. I really want to hear what you think. And you know, somebody nearly convinced me actually on a thread on Facebook last night that maybe, you know, I need to vote. Maybe I need to vote leave. Because of something to do with, you know, total takeover of the police force and the army. That's kind of always been there as something that they could pull out of the, you know, pull out anyway if they wanted to. It doesn't really make any difference, to be honest. I really don't think it makes any difference. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I'd be really pleased to hear from you, so please put your thoughts underneath. Thanks very much. Bye.